God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey, eh?
God bless football, Fuentes.
Oh.
God bless football, Stugotz.
What are you laughing at, Fuentes?
The Jets are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
Oof.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
they are.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
Plus side, rainy day, dangerous game. Aaron didn't get hurt. Let's just count the blessings.
Well, it kind of did. I mean,
Emotionally.
He did get hurt.
he was limping around in the second half. Yeah.
He's fine.
I mean, did you watch the game? He wasn't fine.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes. Unfortunately, yes.
I know.
No.
I know. Listen, that is what me and Mikey A have been saddled with our entire lives, watching that game.
Honestly,
That game.
Okay, so he seemed to be, I wouldn't say hurt, I'd say tweaked, right? He seemed like he played through it, so he was fine enough. But I mean, I guess what was it? It was like a 10-9 game. You can't take him out, so you have to play him. But it could have been a lot worse for him. It could have been a lot worse for Aaron.
Is there a difference between hurt and tweaked at 40 years old?
Yeah, like hurt is you missed the entire season after 4 snaps. Tweaked is, football.
Okay.
Football happened.
I mean, Mikey, the good news is he stayed in the game.
Yeah.
He played through it. That is a positive. If you want to take a positive out of that game, Bo Nix had -7 passing yards at halftime. The Jets still lost the game. So if we want to take a positive from that game, Aaron survived it.
Yeah.
That's what Billy is saying.
Survive in advance.
Right.
Yay.
Whether or not that's a good thing is to be determined, but he survived it. We're 2-2. We wanted so badly to be 3-1, but the Bills lose. The Dolphins play tonight, so I'm trying to be positive about the 2-2 New York Jets. How about that, Mikey? Eh?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I finally turned on Salah. It's finally happened.
Really?
He's out of excuses for me. He's got to go.
What happened?
Now is when it was too much for you?
What happened?
There was always an excuse built in for the last 3-4 years of his tenure as the Jets coach.
Right.
He never had a quarterback. He had Zach Wilson. Okay, that's going to get you a pass in a lot of places, but I have never seen a team get 15 penalties called on them for 90 yards.
Right.
This is they're a terrible. They were completely unprepared for yesterday. I've turned on Salah. I want him out.
All right. I mean, I hear you. You're frustrated. I understand that. That's on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm sorry. That game is on Aaron Rodgers. You bring Aaron Rodgers in to be your quarterback. You don't score 9 points at home against a bad Denver team.
Yeah.
It's on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm sorry, Mikey. That game is a game we have watched for 40 years, and we thought when this guy became our quarterback, there would be something different to watch. And there's not. I'm still watching the same old crap. 9 points against the Denver Broncos in a revenge game for Nathaniel Hackett. I mean,
You think Curb Herbstreit was praising Nathaniel Hackett during the game like he did the week before? Telling him he's a messiah and he fixed everything because Aaron Rodgers has a leg that works?
right. Yeah.
Well, on to London for the Jets against the Vikings.
Yep, revenge game for Sam Darnold.
Across the pond, though.
Sam Darnold, the player.
And by the way, here's what makes it worse. Jet quarterbacks headed into tonight, former Jet quarterbacks headed into tonight are a combined 7-0. 8-0 if you want to include Joe Flacco. Sorry, I'm yelling.
So it was a giant football weekend, and I cannot believe that we started with the Jets game because that was one of the worst games of the weekend. I
You're
even
right.
had
There was
it on
actual football play.
I had it on my list of
In college.
games we probably don't need to talk about. Broncos and Jets were very high on the list. I'd normally have notes and just little things about the games. This one just had 3, and it was just stats. And I was like, maybe we'll get to it, but we probably won't talk about it way too much. But here we are starting the show with it. Hey.
What?
Just like that, Alabama's the number 1 team in the country again.
How about that? I know.
What was that game?
The greatest game in the history of college football.
Okay, so here's the thing
We have
about
the greatest game in the history of college football 3 times a year.
here's the thing about
That was it, though.
No.
But
That
that,
was
was
it.
very
Right.
good.
But
Listen,
it's all
that one was
right.
very good.
I'm going to peel back the curtain. Sometimes I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
This time I mean it. All right?
Here's the thing about that game being the best game of the year and the best game in college football and whatever, right?
History.
And the best game in college football history.
Yes.
Okay. It's the rare best game in college football history that if you were playing as a video game would have been ended because of a mercy rule. That is a game that I could not believe the final score. I told Fuentes I wasn't going to say this, but I will share this because
So this is something you weren't going to say, but
Yeah.
now you're going to say it.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna be upfront and honest about.
I'm
this.
pretty sure this is an experience that not only Billy had, that a lot of people had.
Yep.
But Billy's going to share it.
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
feel like Mikey knows where this is going by just the
I already
agreed.
know the answer,
I
and
think-
I'm right there with you.
I think I do as well. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Georgia, Alabama.
Yes.
Last week I told you
yeah.
I was in love with football. It was appointment television. I was
Yeah.
going to stop everything I was doing to watch it.
That was 4 days ago.
Yes, and you guys off air, little ribbing of me and said that is not true. We don't believe you for 1 second. I because of said ribbing,
Yeah.
I made sure to make it appointment television and sit down and watch it. However, as a father of two,
Yeah.
7:30 is a challenging start time for me.
Of course.
So
Indeed.
so I joined slightly after the 7:30 kickoff, and when I sat down, I think it was 7-0 turning 14-0, and then I watched it become 21-0, and then I think 28-0, and I said, okay, I think we're good here. I don't think I need to stay up until almost midnight to see how this game finishes. And what I did was I turned on the FIU game.
Wow.
Just to see if FIU would hold on, and they did. For those who were wondering, FIU held on and they won. They're now 2-3 on the season.
Wow.
And then
Congratulations. Pause up.
pause up, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was watching the Miami Virginia Tech game on my phone, and we can talk about that game later if you want, because
Sure.
I was wondering, oh man, Miami, I cannot believe that they're going to lose to Virginia Tech. And
Now,
then they
that was
came
Friday
back.
night. That,
and then
you
I
know,
So
said,
that was Friday.
You know
yeah,
what?
It feels like a month ago, right?
You're right about that.
But we can still talk about it because the Hokies got hosed. How
You're
about
right
that?
about that.
Yeah.
Friday, I watched that on my phone, falling asleep.
Penn State, Illinois. That was a
Saturday,
big game
no, I
going on at the
just
same
fell
time.
asleep.
Right.
It was a beach day.
Yeah.
I was there with the family.
Always tired after
watching,
that.
Yeah, a lot of sun. A lot of
Right.
sun. Lo and behold, I wake up and I say, whew, I cannot believe that game ended the way that it did.
Right.
Can't believe it.
Right.
Ryan Williams, 17.
Amazing.
You know what I was doing at 17?
What?
Not that.
I know.
Not that. None of that.
I was.
None of that.
Yeah, you were.
I feel like, and
You.
I don't, I mean, look, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know what day games are on, apparently. But I feel like if you hit him hard enough, that's child abuse. He should not be on that field with adults getting beat up.
Yeah. No one hit him, though. I mean,
No, that's true.
he avoided all people trying to hit him.
Anyways, we'll get back to football later.
We have 17-year-olds playing against 28-year-olds. What a time for college football.
Let's go.
Jalen Milroe,
He's good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good at football.
He's good. Now, Beck came into that game as many people thought he was the number one overall pick in this year's draft.
Yeah.
I'm not certain it's not Jalen Milroe. I mean, I'm serious. That guy is so good. I said it last year. Everyone laughed at me. I mean, he's every bit as good as, if not better, than Hurts and Tua. I mean, he is. Look at the numbers. Compare the numbers.
To who? To Hurts and Tua?
Yeah. Jalen Milroe might go down. If they win the national championship, could go down as the greatest Alabama quarterback ever.
I feel like you say that every year, though, that they have a good quarterback.
Just like it was the greatest college football game of all time.
Yeah.
Well, this time I'm serious.
It's up there.
This
This time I'm serious.
The rare 439 passing yard performance from Carson Beck that was kind of like,
Yeah.
not a great game.
Now that Georgia
3 interceptions.
that Georgia team in the second half might be the best team in the country.
It's true. It's true.
Beck certainly looked like the number one overall pick in the second half.
He did until he didn't.
Can I
Right.
ask you a
Yeah.
question?
Well, yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, because of the new playoff format, you have been against this game being important. Now that it happened, did you change your thoughts? I mean, you just called it the greatest college football game ever,
It was.
but it wasn't as important.
Well, the stakes aren't as high because Georgia still has a very good chance and likely will make the playoffs. So that's the big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, in years past, if Georgia loses this game, it would be a very difficult path back to making it to a college football playoff with 4 teams.
Well, just look last year.
Right.
Last year, they were basically a shoo-in. They lost the SEC championship, and now they're completely out.
Yes.
Where this year,
Right.
it's a totally different story.
Like, Georgia's in. And Georgia might be the second best team in the country. They might be the best team in the country.
Well-
like, there's no scenario in which Georgia is going to be left out of a 12-team playoff.
No, probably not.
That's why. That's the only reason I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But the game itself was great. I mean, it was. It's Alabama, Georgia.
The good thing about the playoff is now we have the possibility of having that game again.
Yes.
Or something.
And again.
Yeah.
You could have it twice more.
I feel like two's enough. I don't want three. I don't want the same game 3 times.
I agree with you, Billy. I agree with you. I want a rematch. I don't need a three-peat.
Yeah, exactly right. No, thank you.
Well, hold on. Let me present this scenario. If Georgia wins the next, if Georgia wins the next one, you guys don't want a third, like a rubber match. You don't want that.
It's like a championship, like a heavyweight fight,
Right.
You got to get part 3.
Well, no, they're saying no. They're saying two's enough.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous
no, thank you.
You might get it 3 times though.
Not in the same season. No, thank you.
The problem is you're not going to get that game 3 times. You'll never get that game again.
It was the greatest game ever.
The last time I said,
The next one.
Right. But the last time I said a college football game was the greatest college football game of all time, and I meant it, was Miami, Nebraska, 1983 Orange Bowl, I believe. That's it.
Not Boise State, Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl.
No, get out of here with that. I mean, Jesus.
It's going to be a long week that I thought Miami
flea flicker, a little hook and ladder, whatever that play was, Statue of Liberty. And a marriage proposal. Nope. I said at the time, though, it was the greatest game. I didn't mean it.
I want to check in on that, Mary.
Texas, USC.
Either still together?
What, Vince Young? The Vince Young game? I said at the time, right after the game, it was the greatest game of all time. I did not mean it.
I want to check.
Didn't mean it though. Okay.
This time I mean it.
Let me know if they're still together.
I'm looking on this. I'm Ian Johnson.
The proposal.
Yeah, who proposed after the game. I'm wondering how
they're doing.
Is going.
Yeah.
Oh, you're it's like The Bachelor.
Yeah. Well, whoa. This is not the same Ian Johnson. This is an old man.
This could be very
checking to see if they're still.
Yeah, I'm trying to check on that.
Let's not do this.
We'll get to that later. Wow, he's 39 now, huh? Time flies. That's
Ian
crazy.
Johnson?
That's crazy.
That is the most shocking thing I've ever heard.
39?
Yes. Holy cow. 39?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Do we want to go back to the NFL or do we want to just get college out of the way now?
I mean, we did a lot of college.
I shouldn't say get it out of. Well, we did one game. Was that Miami Virginia Tech, the game that I remember happening on Saturday, even though it happened on Friday?
It was Friday night.
Watching it on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did watch it on my phone in bed, and I was livid. Mm-hmm. Watching it on like whatever, the 4-inch screen, I was positive that I could see what was going on.
You love football.
I do love football.
You're dedicated to it.
Yeah.
You're gonna
You love it.
Take football into bed.
I know.
Maybe people could say that. I mean, I guess anyone that has a TV in their room. Anyways,
the Canes game.
Home cooking, right? Like that was okay. Here's the thing, right? Let's just, and I know this is going to make me very unpopular around these parts. And this is what I will start with. Probably should not have been called a touchdown on the field. But this is what I'm thinking. They didn't know what to do, so they called it a touchdown, knowing that then there would be a review of the scoring play, is what I'm assuming why they called that a touchdown.
But isn't there some kind of rule, like final 2 minutes? Like, shouldn't they be reviewing it anyway?
All scoring plays?
Well, but it was a scoring play.
That's the thing, since it's scoring.
That's why I'm thinking, and I could be wrong. I'm not super up on my ACC rules.
Right.
But I'm thinking that if there was a doubt, it's like, let's call it a touchdown, and then we can always overturn it when we look at the review. However.
But isn't that what you want?
Yeah, no.
That's the way you want them to go.
I just don't know how.
Give me 2 chances.
Right. I just don't know how you call that a touchdown and then reverse it.
Well, what I don't, that is kind of the thing, because
that's the tricky part of this.
That might have been the worst camera work and least conclusive video I've ever seen. You had no idea what happened.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, be fair to the camera guy. It's an impossible task.
No. It's not. This is not.
We're not saying it's on the camera guy, but if you're a referee, how do you look at that and say, "Hey, I'm going to reverse the call I just made on the field"? You can't do it.
Making the call live.
I blame the camera guy.
Yeah, making the call on the field is almost impossible.
Look, I'm not blaming the camera guy. I'm blaming the other camera people, because it seemed like we had 1 or maybe 2 views of it in a stadium filled with 24 cameras at least focusing on the game. I don't know why we didn't have more views of what it is that happened there. Now, it did kind of feel, and they did the ACC dirty. Like, they did the ACC dirty in the aspect of, we're looking into like ACC headquarters where they're reviewing this play, and you have a 2-2 team going up against an undefeated Miami, and you're like, what would be best for the ACC here?
Right.
Would it be to have the 7th ranked team in the country remain undefeated?
By the way, it also seemed like a real ragtag operation up there.
I know. I mean, what was it? There's PTO going on? Like, where was everybody? It was like 2 people there.
There was 2 guys there. Couldn't have cared less.
Exactly
One
right.
guy had his shirt untucked.
Then they
Just like mulling around.
They brought over like a manager, like, Mike, we can't really. I don't know how we're going to give it to them. What do we do here?
2 guys that didn't care, and then 2 guys glued to like a 15-inch monitor.
Meanwhile, Miami's
watching
celebrating.
it in their bed on their phone.
Miami's celebrating on the field with like their light show and everything, not even realizing it was called a touchdown. Then you have like this lengthy review. And as the review's going on, and as I was in bed, my wife is asleep, and I'm just kind of alone with my thoughts and my phone watching this game again.
You're alone with football because you love it.
I'm zoomed in like this. Yes. I'm like, I see it. I see what's going on here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how with the video that there was, you can definitively say that was an incomplete pass. That wasn't whatever. Like when you slow it down at full speed, I'm sure everyone would have said that's not a catch.
Yeah,
right,
of course.
right.
Like,
but Billy, that's what I'm saying. Once you call it a touchdown, how do you reverse that?
That's
the referees played it wrong.
That's why
that's the problem.
You have to say no touchdown and then reverse it to a touchdown.
Why I'm asking if there was some home cooking going on. And then
you think they just went into that deciding like, hey, we're going to throw it up to the ACC headquarters to a guy whose shirt is untucked, not paying attention, he's gambling. You think they just said, hey, the Canes are going to win?
I don't know about the gambling part.
All right. I'll take the gambling part out of it. The shirt was untucked, though.
This is the ultimate Stugotz. We don't know. Kick it up higher. They'll figure it out.
Look, not the worst play. I will say this, though.
Except here.
As it was going on, I did say to myself, and I can attest as being the only other person that heard it because I said it to myself. I said, oh, they're looking for any way possible to give you on this win. Like, they're looking for anything they can see on this video. And the statement that they came out with was, quote, during the review process of the last play, it was determined that the loose ball was touched by a Miami player while he was out of bounds, which makes it an incomplete pass and immediately ends the play. I think we were fishing for something there. I think
fishing for a rule?
Well, so here's the thing.
I saw that yesterday in the NFL, though. I did. Same exact thing.
Mm-hmm. Fishing for a rule?
No, I can't remember the game, but a guy touched the ball. He was out of bounds. The play was dead. The other team should have the ball.
Chicago.
Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing. If the Virginia Tech player catches the ball, as they say that he did, and he's in bounds, if a player has his foot out of bounds and touches the ball, that doesn't nullify the catch.
Right.
It doesn't mean the ball doesn't exist anymore because the other person already has possession. Once the ball was kind of knocked out, the person standing out of bounds touching the ball would make it a dead ball.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was knocked out,
right,
that's after the initial catch. So was it a catch or was it not a catch? That's what they never confirmed or denied.
Then you have the whole thing where like he's bobbling it. Does he survive the ground? So he has to come down with the ball, have 1 foot in. He's touching a defender who's out of bounds. His own man who he's also laying on top of is out of bounds. I'm happy I didn't have to make a decision. But
yeah, that's why you toss it up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly why you toss it up. Exactly right.
To the guy with the untucked shirt.
Kick it up the ladder.
Thank you. The untucked shirt. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Billy says he has a big announcement.
Ooh, no. An exciting announcement. No, let's not say
not big. I'm sorry.
Exciting. By the way, also, because I don't know if we're going to go back to college.
That's fine.
26 teams in the top 25.
What?
26 teams in the top 25. There's a tie at number 25.
There's a top 26?
Top 26. Texas A&M and UNLV are tied at 25.
Oh, my God.
And which, by the way, UNLV came back from their quarterback quitting blowout. Now they're in the top 25.
They are.
Well, top 26, I guess.
They were top 25 before, but now they're
top 26.
But they won without that kid.
Top 26.
Right.
Yep.
You're excited. You love football.
I love football. Kentucky beats Ole Miss. Arizona beats Utah. Notre Dame.
Right.
They did what they had to do.
You saw it all. Mm-hmm. They did.
I mean,
yeah.
What a season.
Appointment viewing.
What a season of football so far. I can't even get my days straight.
I know. It's amazing. 2 more games tonight.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Not great games, but
yeah, but your team's playing.
Well,
you get to 2-2.
Maybe that has something to do with the announcement.
Oh, wow. An exciting announcement. Next.
Stugotz.
Yo.
God Bless Football.
Yeah.
Presented by Smirnoff.
Wow.
We do game days.
Mm-hmm.
Please drink responsibly.
Yep.
The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a big announcement. I don't know if you're ready for it now or if you want.
Well, wait a second.
Play one of my favorite games, Winners or Losers.
A big announcement or an exciting announcement? Which one is it? You said exciting last segment.
You said exciting last segment.
Big difference.
Yeah,
yes.
It's exciting to me. I don't know if it's exciting to the audience. And it's big in the way that it may change everything forever. But
really,
it may not be that big.
Seems seismic.
Yeah.
Right.
The very fabric of existence.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know about all that. But
Right. Carried away.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Anyway. Hey, Indiana's good at football, huh?
They are, yes. I'm glad you stressed at football.
5-0 for the first time in like 50 years or something.
Their first game of the season was against FIU, and FIU was hanging with them a little bit. Then they made some stupid errors, which we don't need to get into because I know that no one wants to hear about my recap from week 1 of FIU Indiana, week 5 of the season.
Yes, but Indiana is good. You're right.
Yeah.
They're 5-0. They play Northwestern this weekend, looking to be 6-0. It's a good team. I mean, it's a team that could sneak into a 12-team playoff.
Their coach came over
Unbelievable.
from James Madison, I believe, and they asked him like in his introductory press conference, like, how do you like recruit people? How do you get here? Like competing against the big teams. Like, what do they say when they see you come over? And you know what he said? He goes, "Google me, I win." And he does. He's not wrong. He wins.
That's funny.
You want to play winners and losers?
I do want to play winners or losers. I'm looking at the polls right now. I love looking at who the 12th team in the country is to see who they'd be playing in the playoff.
Well, that's tricky though, right?
It is tricky
because it's really 11, and then
Yes.
you have the other team that gets in. So 12 is really like a bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's 12 though?
Ole Miss.
Bad loss.
Ole Miss in the AP, and in the coaches poll, it's LSU.
I don't want to see LSU.
Well, that's the point.
I'm just
right.
enough of LSU.
Right. Exactly right. Anyway, winners or losers, then we'll get to your exciting seismic big announcement.
So, winners and losers, presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. I have this week, and I don't know if you guys have any winners and losers. I have 2 winners and 1 loser this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have 2 winners.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I'll throw a loser on the pile.
Okay, good. All right.
We needed one.
My first winner, we already talked about it, so we can just get through this one really quickly. My first winner is Ryan Williams from Alabama, 17 years old, 177 receiving yards. He had the game-winning 75-yard touchdown on that 75-yard drive right after Georgia took the lead, gave them the lead right back. Seems like a crazy environment.
Yes.
Alabama.
Yes.
And Georgia was.
Should this have fanfare?
Nah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we did that one already. All right, now do you want my next winner or do you want my loser?
So you have 2 winners. You gave us Ryan Williams. You have another winner, another loser. You want me to give you a winner first?
Sure.
All right. Dan Quinn.
Oh.
Dan Quinn is the coach of the Commanders.
Like
He has Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is going to turn Dan Quinn into a Hall of Fame head coach. That's how good Jaden Daniels is.
You know,
They steamrolled Arizona yesterday, and I got to tell you something, and I'll be the first to say it. Kyler Murray, enough. I'm tired of trying to figure out how good you are. Here's what I figured out. You're not good.
Wow.
How's that sound?
You figured that out.
I did.
I have a co-winner with Dan Quinn. Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
He's flourishing in the offensive coordinator role. Beat his old team really bad yesterday.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels looks good.
Yep.
Big winner, Cliff Kingsbury.
All right, so that's
Hold
3
on to
winners.
those coattails.
Yes, no doubt.
I feel like that was like a difficult game for Cliff Kingsbury, right? Because he loves Kyler Murray more than anyone on earth.
Not as much as Jaden Daniels.
No,
Or
he
himself.
loves Kyler Murray. Loves Kyler, like to like a level that's like odd that I think goes back to like he was trying to recruit him in high school, and then like it was like a whole thing, and then he tried to get him to come to his con, and then he didn't, so then he became his head coach. Like he loves Kyler Murray.
He does love Kyler Murray.
It has to have hurt him deep down.
No.
Kyler Murray that bad.
No,
It
I think-
has to have hurt him.
I think Jaden Daniels is everything he thought Kyler Murray was going to be.
This is
You know?
a old girlfriend, new girlfriend situation.
Really?
Yeah.
He
I
loves
don't
his
know.
old girlfriend, but he really loves his new.
And I think this is the one I think this is the one true love, and it really hurt to watch that happen.
Jaden Daniels is completing 82% of his passes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
As a rookie.
82%.
As a rookie.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's ridiculous.
He had his first interception yesterday.
I know.
Rookie.
Yeah.
I know. He's so good. We need a loser, though.
Remember when Austin Eckler decided to go to the Commanders, and we were like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah.
That worked out for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Chargers, I don't know about the Chargers.
No, I mean, they're 2-2, but you're right.
I don't know about the Chargers.
That's the way you have to talk about the Chargers, just like that, because you don't know.
I don't know about the Chargers also.
Yeah.
At 4-0, I don't know about the Chiefs. I don't want to do this again with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are one of the most confusing 4-0 team of all time.
I don't know
They
about
are.
the Chiefs.
That's my other winner, by the way.
I think that they're like they're on a major, or I shouldn't say major, but like it very much feels like championship hangover with them, right? Like it's just like I don't want to say
they're 4-0. I mean,
yes, they're 4-0, but like, and we're gonna get criticized, whatever. And they were even kind of saying it yesterday on the broadcast. Like Romo and Nance were talking about it a little bit. It's like, this seems a little different this year, which is fine. And like,
it's a great Romo, by the way.
It was, and it wasn't even on purpose. I wasn't even trying to do a
that's how
Romo
he does
impression.
it.
It kind of was. I don't know, Jim.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird because it feels like, do you guys remember Big 3 era Miami Heat? And I don't know if you guys kind of felt the same way, but like when it was done, it was like, oh, I can't believe. I guess I'm remembering this differently, but when it was done, it was like, oh, I can't believe LeBron left, blah, 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 whatever, right? But then like come June, when you were working down here, like, oh, we got a June off from basketball. We don't have to do this every night. Like, this isn't the worst. Like, I'm not saying that the Chiefs are, trying to lose, but I'm saying, like, if they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, I'm sure they would be like, okay. While wanting the three-peat, they'd also be like, okay. Like, I kind of wonder if they're like, oh man, we're 4-0. Like, how are we gonna get out of this one? And then guess who reappeared yesterday?
No,
Travis Kelce reappeared yesterday.
No, I don't think Mahomes is wired that way, Billy. I
don't think
what
so
it is you're
either.
saying. I think he's like we're 4-0. Wait until I get going.
Yes, but also like we kind of saw it. Like, okay, if you were to ask Caitlin Clark, Caitlin, are you glad that basketball is finally done after your like ridiculous stretch of basketball? She's probably like, yeah. It's gonna be nice to go on a little vacation and have a break here.
Sure,
yeah.
I understand.
I feel like
before we keep going, can I get my loser in there because it's all about this game?
Okay, so I still have a winner and a loser.
Okay,
yeah.
Winner.
Yeah.
Now, I like Mikey. Thank you for grabbing the steering wheel there because Billy, we were all feeling it as being
we were about to
completely
go
ridiculous.
on Caitlin Clark. And
he was like getting out of hand. The Chiefs don't want to win suddenly. They want the season shortened.
No,
they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out how to get out of their 4-0 start.
Not what I said.
But there is no way there are guys in that locker room thinking, just get us to the playoffs.
No,
we're tired of this.
Regular season. Not what I was saying.
Billy's saying just get me home.
No, my larger point, which obviously I was not expressing clearly enough, was should they not make it to the Super Bowl? Should they not go on a deep run?
Will they be okay with it?
They'll probably be relieved.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're laying the groundwork for that now because they're clearly not. They're 4-0, but
there's one team in the AFC that's undefeated. It's them.
This is a bit of a mirage because what's going to happen is that they're 4-0. They haven't looked good, and at the end of the season, if like things start going bad or if they have like a bad playoff loss, people are going to be like, oh, what happened? What happened? It's like this has been the team all year long. Like last year when they won the Super Bowl, they didn't look great, and they just went on a great run in the playoffs.
I know.
Anyways, we don't need to keep talking about the Chiefs because you know how that goes with me. It leads to Caitlin Clark talk.
We interrupted Mikey as a loser for us. Yeah.
We don't need to keep talking about the Chiefs. My loser of the week comes from the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh,
why the hell are you trying to make a tackle? You shouldn't be trying to make a tackle. And if you are trying to make a tackle, it should be a very gentle push out of bounds. You do not need to be diving at people's knees where, of course, you eliminate the one weapon you can rely on outside. Well, no, you can't even rely on Travis Kelce this year. You eliminate the one because you went helmet to knee and you took out Rashee Rice for probably the year.
So let me get this straight. Your loser of the
Patrick
week
Mahomes, who won the game.
Quarterback of the 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Listen, stop making it harder on yourself. You shouldn't be making tackles.
I agree with. I do agree with that. I don't know if I call him a loser when he won. He's won 4 straight, 2 straight Super Bowls, but I get your larger point.
Well, he also set up his team for disaster because he threw the interception that then led to him injuring one of his own teammates.
Right.
Which wasn't great.
Loser.
Right. But that's the thing. It's like, just get away from the play. Like
we're part of Chiefs.
If you get a pick 6, come back on the field, go down the field and score. Forget it.
Look, absolute worst case scenario is he hurts himself on that play, right? Which is like, why even bother?
Yes.
But then he takes out Rashee Rice, which is like, what are we doing? Because what
are we doing?
He was like blindly tried to tackle the defender turned offensive player there. He just tried to blindly tackle him. He turned I'm willing to bet. And I don't know if we can find the camera work on this. He closed his eyes. That very much was he threw himself and closed his eyes.
Right.
And then once he made contact, he was probably like, yeah, I got him. And it's like, oh, no, wrong person.
Oh, no,
got the
that's
wrong
not
guy.
Wrong team. Yeah.
I got my best player.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he closed his eyes on that play.
Okay.
Yep. Anyways, you want another winner and another loser from me, or you guys just want to kind of move on with
No,
the show?
I want. I mean, we have this exciting announcement coming up, but no, I want your winner.
That may
I want your
change
loser.
everything forever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
May change everything.
May.
So you have a winner or
Our
a loser.
winner.
Right.
Falcons defense and special teams. The Falcons defense and special teams provided all 26 points in Atlanta's 26-24 win over the Saints.
Man, that seems impossible. To score 24 points, the other team doesn't score an offensive touchdown, and you lose the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sure you weren't playing the Jets?
Wow. I would have killed for 24 points.
Kirk Cousins, huh?
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Well, that was pre-injury. Once the injury happened, things changed.
Right.
Yeah, everybody
He
knew.
went to the second ballot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will see.
There is no one on earth in Minnesota who thought, man, we lost Kirk Cousins, we got Sam Darnold, and we're going to be 4-0.
It's crazy.
Nobody thought that.
No.
Impossible.
I
know.
did. I thought it.
Except
He
Jet
thought it.
fans. Yeah.
All right. You want my loser of the week?
Again, former Jet quarterbacks headed into tonight 8-0. Go ahead, Bill.
Again, winners and losers presented
7.
by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please
8 if
drink
you include
responsibly.
Flacco. Sorry, Smirnoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
All right. You want my loser of the week?
Sure.
Nick Harris. Who's Nick Harris, you ask yourself?
How'd you know?
Everybody's asking.
It is a great question. Nick Harris, of course, the backup center for the Browns.
Of course.
Nick Harris had a very bad holding call against Christian Wilkins, which ended up negating what would have been an 82-yard touchdown by Amari Cooper in a revenge game for Amari Cooper. It was called back. Then later in the game, he botched a snap to Deshaun Watson when he wasn't paying attention, leading to a 6-yard loss. The Browns ended up losing that game.
Yep.
Nick Harris, loser.
Loser.
Unfortunately. Sorry, Nick. I'm sure you're a very nice person.
Right there with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick Harris and Patrick Mahomes. You're two losers of the week.
Identical.
Yeah.
I have a winner.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who's your winner?
Spags.
Boy.
Oh.
Our boy Spags.
Oh.
You ask yourself, how are the Chiefs 4-0? It's not because of Mahomes. It's not Andy Reid. It's not the offense. It is that defense. And that defense is led by a legend. And that legend is Steve Spagnuolo. He is he's going to get a head coaching job out of this.
You want me to send him this clip so maybe he comes back on the show?
Yeah, well, he is coming back.
Is he?
Yeah. So that's
Are we going to sit down with him in Kansas City?
well, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Things happen.
All right.
He's a busy guy.
Any minute.
Yeah.
Credentials.
Yeah, well.
They didn't happen.
That's
I
true.
have a winner.
Oh, okay.
Derrick Henry.
Oh,
Big
of
winner.
course.
Everybody called him wash after week 1.
Oh, of course.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Ravens might be the best team in the NFL.
What happened?
They might be.
What happened? We were coming in saying, oh, these Bills, no one's going to be able to compete with them. Laid an egg. I don't know why I made that sound. That's more of a fart. I don't know what sound you make. What sound do you think it makes like when a duck lays an egg?
That's a good question. Yeah, like a plop. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
plop.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the Bills. Boop, laid an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Did we?
Well, the Jets did.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who the we was.
And the Dolphins do.
The Dolphins.
We should have seen it coming the second Chris Sims and Mike Goldick were like, he's the best quarterback in football now, and then yeah.
I am not.
Oh, the Bills are still very, very good.
Oh yeah, no, I'm scared.
Yes.
Very scared.
Josh Allen is very good. The Bills are very
That's awesome.
Bills. The
Yes.
Bills drop so many passes.
But that's a team that's 3-0. Like you knew, like that was fairly predictable from this standpoint. Ravens are 1-2. Bills are 3-0. Like you knew the Ravens were gonna.
the Ravens historically have good like primetime performances, and they'll do this, and then like something will happen, and then at some point this season, the Ravens, bloop,
Right.
yeah,
Exciting.
that was
news.
the laying the egg.
I got it.
If you remember from earlier, Derrick Henry had 199 rushing yards.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones could not afford him.
Had he not fumbled that ball forward, he would have had a 200-yard rushing game.
Yeah.
With 3 touchdowns.
What's that?
He would have had 3
3.
touchdowns. Yeah.
He had the
receiving
receiving touchdown
Yeah.
as well.
He hadn't
Yeah.
caught a receiving touchdown since 2019.
It's crazy how good they look, and Lamar only has to go 13 of 18 for 156 yards.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he rushed the ball 54 yards.
No, but that's that is the perfect. If you ask John Harbaugh, how do you want to win games? Last night is the way he wants to win football games. That's it. Like he's not putting
everybody
Lamar.
would like to win. I think everybody would like to win as handily as they do.
No, but he's not putting Lamar in harm's way, meaning he's mitigating the opportunities for Lamar to get hurt because Derrick Henry's having such a good game running the football.
Did you guys think Josh was seriously hurt? Because I did. When he fumbled that ball and they drilled him and he was laying on the ground, I was like, oh man, that's not good for Josh Allen. And sure enough, boom, right back up.
I didn't think he was hurt.
Yeah, man, that guy's.
I don't think he's capable of getting hurt.
Really?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Has he been hurt in his career?
I don't think he's been
I think
hurt.
he's
Just hurt him.
Yeah, I think he
He
had
just hurt him a few years ago.
A couple games.
Maybe
I think.
emotionally,
Yeah.
No,
like
aren't we all, though?
heartbreak.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway, are you ready for this
Not
exciting
open.
announcement, Billy?
No,
No?
no, I'm not.
So we'll do it next?
We'll do it. I'll tell you this. I'll tease the announcement. My big announcement has to do
You're going to tease it.
with my big board, and that's the tease.
Really?
Yeah.
Find out what it is next.
Stugotz.
Yes, Billy.
So Mikey and Mike too, an audience. I guess I'm not just talking to Stugotz.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's nice of you.
So we do our fantasy league, as you guys know. Our fantasy league, by the way, if you want to compete against us, is presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. And you can join every week. You go to dkng.co/Smirnoff. You compete against us in daily fantasy, but we do it on Sundays. So it's like weekly, but it's daily. It's a whole thing.
We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your budget. As you may or may not know, I finished in 5th place 2 weeks ago. I was riding high. I flew too close to the sun. Last week, I finished like 10 spots from the bottom.
Right.
This week, I was feeling really good about it.
Bounce back week?
Bounce back week. When I put together my roster, I did it. So I don't know when you guys put together your rosters in fantasy, right? If it's like up to the minute, or if you like set it up like and this one where you're building a roster new every week. Sometimes like I'm scrambling there to get it in right before.
Sure.
Other times I'll sit down on a Saturday and I'll dedicate time to this.
Right.
I sat down
Because you love football.
because I love football and I
Right.
want to So I set up my team on Saturday and I said to myself, how is this roster even legal? This shouldn't even be allowed. This
Right.
is such a good roster. Boom, 325th place or something. Yeah. So this is very hit or miss for me.
Right.
Very hit or miss.
It happens all the time because you can, on DraftKings for daily fantasy, have what feels like an all-star team,
Yeah.
like a Pro Bowl team, right? But listen, the experts win because they're not focused on the quarterback. They win in the margins. And the margins for DraftKings is kicker, is defense and special teams, is taking a guy for $4,000 at wide receiver that does better than the guy you took for $8,700. That's how these guys win.
Here's the
you know?
thing. I've been riding Baker like every week. This week I took Sam Darnold, who had a good fantasy week. He had like 23 points, but shouldn't have gone away from Baker. And somehow I ended up with Mike Gesicki as my tight end, and he got me 0.1 points. So
Right.
That'll do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that will do it.
Anyway.
Yeah. But I'm with
Billy,
you.
I had a lineup this week that I filled my Amazon cart. I didn't check the scores. I was like, I know who's on my team. I know I'm winning.
There you go.
So I filled my Amazon cart. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and hit send. But before I do, let me just check real quick.
Yeah.
58th place. Just out of the money.
58 is
Not
not
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Just out of the money.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I thought that I finished 325th. I finished 379th, so I didn't even do as well as I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Is it fair to say, I don't care, like are Bears fans already saying to themselves, we picked the wrong guy?
I think it's early for that.
Probably not coming off a win.
They are, but they're not talking about the quarterback. They're talking about the coach.
Well, maybe, because they could have had Jim Harbaugh, you're saying?
They could have had a lot of people
Right.
named Eberflus.
A guy not named Eberflus, correct?
Yeah. I mean, they're 2-2. I realize Caleb Williams could still turn into a great quarterback. You see flashes of it, but Jaden Daniels is already a great quarterback. Like, there's no debating whether or not he's going to be great. He is great. Caleb Williams, there is debate about whether or not he will actually be great. So that, I don't know. For a Bears fan, that'd be tough for me to watch. But I'm used to it.
We talked about this on kickoff. If the Bears decide to move on from their head coach, it will be the third time that they took a quarterback with like the first pick that then they fire the coach after a season. And it has not ended well for them historically,
Right.
as we've seen.
Belichick?
enough with Belichick. I don't know why you keep doing this whole thing.
Because he's going to coach again. That's
Yeah,
why.
You're so in love with the washed 73-year-old coach that had a heyday like 10 years ago.
No, I'm not.
You are. You keep bringing him up.
you
I don't.
do.
He's not going to coach.
No.
They would have if they wanted him, they'd hire him.
Wait. You're saying that he's not going to coach, all right? You're saying that he's not going to coach because no NFL teams want him to coach.
The thing is, he wants
to coach.
He wants all the power.
Right.
And NFL teams don't want to give him that.
Okay.
Because he's already
He
proven
deserves
that
it, but I wouldn't give it to him.
Okay.
He can't do it without Brady. He's kind of proven that. So it's like, why give him all this power?
Mikey, you're Woody Johnson, and he picks up the phone today. Belichick does and says, I want to coach your team. What do you do?
I'd fire Robert Saleh and
There you
I'd
go.
say, welcome, Bill. But I mean,
Here's all the power.
You took the lowest bearing fruit possible.
Well.
yeah, like that's not fair. Like,
Yeah.
All right.
replacing terrible with slightly better at this point.
You're a McCaskey, and Belichick calls. Is it still the McCaskies in Chicago? When he calls, what do you do?
I have no idea.
CJ Stroud had 345 yards
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy.
in an unimpressive win over the Jaguars that would have been a disastrous loss.
Yes.
If the Jags beat the Texans, that is not great. But CJ Stroud, 345 yards, great.
Right.
Business as usual.
You're right. They lose that game. Belichick goes to Houston. I mean, how about that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
God.
He might end up in Jacksonville.
He brought me there. I'm sorry. He should end up in Jacksonville.
How about this?
What?
How about the Chiefs do what I was saying, and for some reason
Hire Bill Belichick?
they go crazy, and they're like, you know what, Andy Reid's got to go, and they bring in Bill Belichick with Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Now
You're playing the game, my friend.
That's a dumb game. I don't like this game.
It's a great game. What are you talking about?
We haven't talked about this
But I
game
thought
either.
Spags was the reason.
We haven't talked about this game
Spags
either.
is the reason. I mean, but Spags, listen, I said this to Spags last time he was on. Sometimes a coordinator is just good at being a coordinator.
Yes.
Yeah, and he is great at it. Hall of Fame, great. He is going to get to the Hall of Fame if he just stays a defensive coordinator. He's
Yeah.
great at it. He's the best in the business. Anyway, what were you saying, Billy?
Buccaneers
What about him?
blew out the Eagles.
They're back.
Bakers.
Yeah.
Baker may be good.
Baker is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is good.
Not maybe good.
Maybe good.
Asked me that last week.
Baker's good.
Baker may be good.
We've teased it long enough.
Also, the Bengals may be bad, even though they won by 10.
Yeah, Belichick. We've teased it long enough. Big, special, exciting, seismic announcement from Billy Gill. Next. Our apologies. No Lucy this week. Lucy is making her way back to Florida from where was she, Billy?
She was at the Alabama game.
game.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then and you don't need to know all the travel details.
All right. So Lucy should be with us next week. We hope she gets back safely. Billy has a big announcement. He has his picks for tonight. 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. You have the Dolphins. They're playing. You have the Seahawks and the Lions as well. And so see if the Dolphins could get to 2-2. The Bills are at 3-1. Dolphins would, with a win, would be tied for second in the AFC East.
Yeah, a revenge game of sorts. Titans at Dolphins after
Yeah.
last year's Monday Night Football game, even though obviously the stakes are not
Yes.
as high. Well, I guess the stakes are kind of high. The Dolphins are kind of, I don't want to say they're playing
Dolphins
for
need
their
this.
season, but
Right.
they need to win this game.
Right.
So
If not Belichick, I mean.
here is the big announcement or seismic announcement. I don't remember what we were calling it. Anyways, so last week.
Listen, I called it big. I called it seismic. You said it's not big. It's not seismic. It's just exciting. That's what you said. Those
I
are
also
your
said
words.
I think it changes everything, but it doesn't
You
matter.
did. You did say that.
So last week we had 2 Monday Night Football games as well, and Mikey said, so which game did you choose? Are you going to pick both games, whatever? And I just had 3 picks. Now here is the important news. It's time for Billy's Big Board Bets, brought to you by, and I have my trusty board, as I always do. However, this week I brought a friend another board
wow.
because there's 2 games, so we're going to make 3 picks for each game.
Wow. A couple of boards cutting it up.
There are
I mean,
6 picks this week.
Wow.
Yep.
6.
That's right, 6.
So this is the exciting news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Twice as much.
Seismic.
You want to get started? Do I know how to sell or do I know how to sell?
I thought it was sponsored.
I gotta say,
No.
I was excited.
I'm excited. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's just get started because there's 6 picks that we got to get to this week.
All right.
The first one, Calvin Ridley, under 3.5 reception.
All right.
Yep. Titans at Dolphins. Ridley is going to go under 3.5 receptions.
Okay.
I will tell you this, and I have told you guys this before, we're not in a DraftKings state, but if I was in a DraftKings state, these are bets that I may or may not feel strongly enough to place a wager on. Now, this game, I don't know what the hell's going to happen, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm making these. This was one of the hardest ones to pick because I could see a situation where it's a high-scoring game. I can see a situation where it's a disaster.
All right, so
Huntley could throw for 350 yards, but Huntley could also have like less than 24 passing attempts.
Sure. So this is still the same board, but this is pick number 2 for that board.
This is pick number 2.
Okay.
Will Levis, over 0.5 interception.
I like it.
If I know anything,
yes,
which I don't,
yes,
it's that Will Levis is going to throw an interception in this game.
Okay.
That might be my lock of the week.
He just needs to throw one. That's
that
it.
might
Right.
be my lock of the week.
Is Will Levis throwing a interception?
Over half an interception. Not one, over half.
Okay, over half. You can't throw a half, so 1.
Oh, over half.
All right. He has 5 on the season.
Yeah, over half. And there's only been 3 games. So
he has 5 on the season. He has one that just rips your heart out every single week. So, and the Dolphins, to your credit, to your point, have a good secondary. So, I like that pick. Over half. Got it.
Might be my lock of the week.
So this is your third pick on the first board.
This is my third and final pick of this board. Each team will score 1 touchdown and 1 field goal in the game.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
I like it.
It's a fun one.
All right. Each team going to score a touchdown and a field goal.
Yep.
Would have been funny if you had that for the Atlanta game yesterday.
All right. Ready?
You would have been furious.
Is it offensive touchdowns?
Oh, that's a good question. Huh?
Right.
No,
Just a touchdown.
No, it's a touchdown.
Just a tutty.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Ready?
Yep. So
All
this is
right.
board 2, Seahawks
That
Lions.
was Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by BBBBBB.
Right.
Now,
and this
here's
is
the
board
debut
2.
of
Right.
BBBBBBB. Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by, and this is the B Board.
Okay.
All right, so the B Board is making its debut, and the B Board's first pick is Jared Goff under 242.5 passing yards.
Okay. What's your theory there? The Lions get out to a big lead.
I think, and I could be wrong about this,
Right.
and I'm kind of hedging, and you'll find out a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
I think we may be in for a bit of a slower game on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Because the Seahawks give up a lot of points and they give up some yards, but I think that Jared Goff is going to be under 242.5 passing yards. My second one, I'm going to take the Seahawks +4.
Wow.
I don't think necessarily that they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a close one.
Got it. So you have the Lions by 3 is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Not to be
less than
too
4.
exact,
I
right?
think the Seahawks are a little fraudulent.
I think the Lions blow them out.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
The Lions need it more.
Look
Well-
at the Seahawks wins. Not impressive.
Then that's why we're hedging here, because I have the over 47 for the game. So I'm playing it safe on this one, right? Right now in the season, I am 7-5. Last week I was 2-1. This is a risky one. 6 picks could swing it in one direction or another. This may put me in a hole that I can't get out of, but it also may be setting me up for success, or I could go 500 and end up basically exactly where I am.
Right.
So we'll see. But a little bit of a
Interesting.
hedge there at the end.
You seem nervous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you're letting it ride tonight, Billy.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you love football.
You love football.
I love football. I love it so much that I forget what days certain games are on.
Right.
But in my defense, college football should not be played on Fridays. That's a conversation for another day. College football games should not be on Friday.
I have a late winner.
Really?
Okay.
Quick.
Young Wei Koo.
I had him on my list of winners and losers, and I took him out at the end.
Yeah.
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 My guy, sniper.
Big winner, career-long 58-yard touchdown to win the game. That guy is lights out. In a year where kicking has been very inconsistent, he's a consistent. God bless football.
Belichick.